When you graduated from high school, what was your comprehension of financial literacy? How much has it improved over the years? The majority of young adults entering into their years of physical and financial independence have little to no knowledge of basic financial functionality. These functions and practices are crucial to ensuring a productive and successful future. A report from youth.gov based on a financial literacy exam found that high school seniors scored an average of only 48%, thus showing a strong need for more comprehensive financial education for youth in our high schools. As somebody who knew little to nothing about balancing my own finances, after leaving high school, I think that it is an important practice that needs to be included in our national high school curriculum. Based on the survey results stated, it is clear that the majority of students are embarking on their journey into the real world having little to no idea how to balance their finances. This major problem in the United States leads to impulsive, uneducated financial decisions, possibly crippling later opportunities. It is time that our school systems take charge of creating financial literacy courses, helping secure our youth's financial future. So what are the most necessary financial subjects that need to be covered, and why do they matter? What part do we as parents and teachers play in the knowledge of our children and students' financial literacy? How can we use these rules to help? One of the most crucial subjects a student needs to know before attaining financial independence is how to budget their money. Some benefits of teaching students budgeting, according to budgetingincome.com, include keeping yourself aware of what is going on with your money. It helps organize your spendings and savings and also allows you to stay focused on your financial goals, as well as helping in determining if you can take on debt and if so, how much. By teaching all of the mentioned advantages, this will help students begin to develop a healthy relationship with money and should be enforced in our school systems before launching them into financial independence. Another important lesson in financial literacy is credit, interest, and obtaining loans. Lack of knowledge on such important subjects could really tarnish one's financial future if done without careful consideration. There is a possibility of destroying your credit, thus preventing you from making and obtaining some of the more rewarding purchases in life, such as homes and cars. Banks and financing companies tend to be more than happy to hand out loans and credit cards to almost anybody that's willing to sign up. This impulsivity by Americans has led an average of people under the age of 35 to be carrying $5,800 in debt on average. I strongly believe that if young people were educated in how credit works and how interest affects the total amount needed to be paid back once the loan has been taken out, many would think twice before obtaining any type of loan. Taxes are another mandatory financial lesson that needs to be implemented in our schools, as they are probably one of the most confusing. Regardless of how complicated, no matter who you are, you will be mandated to file them. Many people don't necessarily understand what they are being taxed for, nor do they understand how to file them. It would be extremely beneficial for students to learn how to file taxes early on to avoid any hesitation or confusion. Tax software has assisted in making taxes a bit less complicated. It helps by informing you of each document as they're needed, explaining what they are and where you can find them. By implementing these programs in the classroom, it would allow for students to be capable of filing their own taxes before even graduating. This is also very beneficial as many students are already working while still in high school. A major problem that adults with children or students face is due to lack of financial education on their own part. They may not necessarily be relaying the proper information or be practicing the best money habits themselves, making it difficult to lead by example. According to youth.gov, young people often learn about money informally through socialization, such as observing and listening to their caregivers, adults, and peers. Because the majority of us were not taught formal financial literacy in our school curriculums, it makes it difficult to be able to share our knowledge with our children or our students. Another problem that many families face is that we have made money a taboo subject. Many families believe that finances are not something to be spoken about with their children, as it is not their business and is an adult issue. However, if we prevent our children from learning from us, how are we supposed to teach them at all? Just as with any teaching moment in a child's life, every conversation should be age appropriate. There are many ways to help teach your child to budget their money. or begin teaching them about borrowing money, loans, and interest at a young age. The U.S. News agrees that even elementary school children are capable of beginning to understand the concept of finances and even taxes. They provide a great example of explaining why we pay taxes, stating school-aged kids regularly interact with the essential infrastructures paid for by taxes. If we point out parks, playgrounds, post offices, and bridges, many of which, when they get older, they will use their taxes to pay for the structures that they're already utilizing on a daily basis. All issues mentioned seem to have an obvious solution. As I've mentioned, it is important that we implement these programs and classes in our public schools to help teach students about how to manage their finances prior to graduation. Doing this would increase the national financial literacy rate significantly, as well as the economy as a whole. According to an article by Consumer Affairs, adolescents with low levels of financial literacy stay illiterate throughout adulthood. This type of statistic shows the urgency needed for these types of programs. Having a lack of knowledge around finances inhibits students and adults from having the power to make sound financial decisions. As finances continue to change and evolve, it is important that we all have a basic understanding of their functions and ensure that our future students and children do as well. Red button.
Who's gonna